This is a quick construction video for the Battlefield Accessories Vauban Fortress. In the kit you get 2 of these corner bastions, 4 of these wall sections, 1 gate section which has been constructed without its card overlay, and then 1 destroyed wall section, right, which is designed for you to actually, rubble in the center section of that and decorate it up with foam and stuff. What I'm going to do in this video, rather than, it won't be an exhaustive one like my normal videos, it'll be kind of a short cut down version. I've just had a request to put one up, so rather than spending hours sort of going through it and scripting it, I'm just going to do kind of the quick cook's tour of the whole thing. Okay, so we'll start with a brief description of some of the parts you get. So these card overlays, and so there's a series of those which I'm going to go through now. For example, these cards here, right, go around the entrances to the magazine covers under the main thing. You've got these larger pieces like this, which basically have these teeth grooves on the side which allow them to interlock. So if I look at the main piece, you can see that here there's another one of those on this facing here, right, and the teeth locking it into the corner. And then if I turn the piece around, you'll see that there's a smaller piece on this side here, and over on this side over here, which are these pieces here. You'll then get a series of these shorter pieces and longer pieces. Right, these are designed for doing these runs across the top, and also on the front of that wall, these pieces here. You should have enough of those in your kit with some spares to allow you to do facings on the gate and on the destroyed wall section. And then finally there's these pieces here which have purposely been linked together, so you'll need to cut those with a knife. And the idea of these is that they work in pairs. So for example, if I grab this one here, you'll see that it matches that long face there, and this piece here, once I trim it, will then form this piece here. So the idea is you keep these together, right, and as you use them, they'll then slot in to these various pieces around the part. Okay, so now I'm going to construct this without using glue. Normally, of course, you're going to glue all these pieces together, but again, because I'm doing a quick version, right, here it goes. So, got my deck, I've got my facing interior wall. What I'm going to do is just stand that up in those things, and then just basically slot it down. Now, nice tight join on that. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 end pieces and basically just slide those end pieces in. Now, again, because you're using glue on yours, you're going to glue these, right, and basically allow them to dry. Maybe put a little bit of masking tape over them, right, and that will stop mine are going to wobble around and do all sorts of crazy things. Right, bit of masking tape around the side to hold it in place. This rear wall, of course, will just slide into place basically like this. Okay, so I'm not going to put that in because the whole thing will collapse, but again, with glue, it'll hold it in place. Then I'm just going to turn around and show you the front face. Now, the idea on the front face, there are 2 bits of keys on the side, but it's also got these 2 spikes which key in here on the front glacis. Right, and so again, there's that one. There's that one in place, and again, I'm going to glue it, masking tape it while it dries. And then the final piece is this bit, which again is all keyed, so as it just slots in on top. And again, it's going to be nice and tight. So the whole thing will just about hold itself together without any glue. There it is. Now, of course, I'm then going to come along at the end with these long card bits, and basically the idea of these is they cover up all of the joins that sit in there. Of course, on the back face, of course, you're going to put these on like that, and everything's great. Okay, so that's the straight wall. Okay, so the pieces that make up the gate look like this. They should come in a bag by themselves. Very, very similar to the long wall we just had a look at. So I've got this piece here which is going to stand up inside there. got the two end pieces, which are basically going to slot in here and here. So just like that. There are two door sections. The one with the tall teeth on it is the back section. When you look at it, it'll be obvious because it'll only go in one way. Then the front one, again, remember you're going to work with glue, so yours isn't going to wobble and stuff like mine. Right, this front gate's going to sit in there. Then over this piece here, which is going to sit there, right, and then this piece which is going to key in over the top, link the whole thing together. Okay, there it is. Okay, so the corner piece is probably the most complex piece in the whole kit. You've got to remember you've got two of these, so you're going to have multiples of each of these parts. Basically, I'll give you the quick rundown. You have these two long walls with brick engraving. They form on the model this wall here and this wall here. You then have these two half walls, which basically form these two half walls here and here. You have these two front pieces which make the glacis. Now there's a couple of notes on this. It has a note on here called rhombus join. This other piece has a rhombus join on it as well. The idea is that those two pieces go together. Okay. You also have a piece that's got edge 1 written on it. There are these two corner pieces. Edge 1 is on this one, so edge 1 and edge 1 line up together, whereas the blank corner and the blank one line up together over there. Okay. It really only goes together one way, so you'll see how that goes in the construction. The other thing is they're not perfectly mirrors or square. Oh, not square. They're not perfect copies of each other. So one side is actually a fraction longer, so you can't actually get them confused. So when you're laying out your kits, you have two of these, and so on. Okay. So the construction of this. Okay, now you have to avoid some of the shadows that are going to appear here. I will try and make it as obvious as possible. So first thing, I'm going to take this piece here. It's the one with the cutout with the interior engraved wall and the three cutout lines or cutout holes in it. Okay, the idea is that I'm going to stack up make the internal structure first and glue it, right, then build the external walls. So I'm going to take the one of these, which again, so the first one, so I'm matching the one with the holes in it with the ones without the holes in it. I'm basically going to slot it together. Right, so you'll see those grooves. I'm going to slot it together so the two internal walls are facing each other. You can see that's fairly tight. Okay. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to take the deck. I'm going to put the deck in place so as these three holes here go into those three holes there, and you'll see, if you look carefully there, you'll see that there's a little overlap piece that sits in there. I'll just push that in nice and firmly. What I'm then going to do is take the other half wall with the three holes in it. I'm going to slide it into place. Now remember, my internal brickwork is on the inside on this. You can see all those holes will lock down nicely. Now again, it's at this point that I've put glue, especially glue and masking tape around this corner here, just to hold the whole thing together. Then finally, I'm going to take this wall here. That's the one with no holes in it, with the double spikes on it. I'm going to slot it down. Now the trap for young players here is you want the brickwork on the inside. Right, there we go. The whole thing's glued in your case. Of course, in my case, I'm going to pull it to pieces. Okay, so that's that part done. Okay, next I want to put the front walls on. Now the rhombus join is designed, in terms of this, I've called this the rhombus join here. So it's the one corner where the two slopes meet each other. Now the way to put these on is I'm going to lock in the top square, right, and then at the bottom you'll see there's a little hook. You just got to push that in. You hear mine creaking a little bit. Nice firm join. Okay, I've then got the other faces. I've just got a hole that didn't punch out properly. In fact, I've got two of them. Okay, so I've got rhombus join again. Going to come along, lock that in place. there it is. Now again, a bead of glue down this joint here, maybe some glue on the inside of here doesn't hurt as well. Okay, in mine, in fact, I then put a run of glue in this internal section here just to give it a little bit of extra strength. Okay, the whole kit, like as you can see, I've used no glue on it at the moment. It's actually pretty stable. Okay, so now for the tricky bits, the gun embrasures. Okay, there's a trick to getting these in. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the deck piece, which looks like this. I'm going to pass it in so as it comes out the front. Right, and then once it's sticking out the front a little bit, then drop it down onto the back. Okay. Now my suggestion here is I would work one gun embrasure at a time. I would put glue on this so as it's in place, and then put the surround pieces in while this has still got a little bit of play, a little bit of movement backwards and forwards. With these pieces, they're basically two bits like this. Again, I want the brickwork on the inside of the embrasure. Right, there's a bit of a knack to this, so basically you're going to drop it in, right, and then stand it up. Drop it in and stand it up. Now again, a bit of glue there is going to help a lot. So glue that, then going to move on to the next one. So again, bring it in from the front. Right, then drop it down, got glue on it, come in, stand it up, oops, so again, because mine's not glued, it's moving around a little bit, and then stand it up, and so on. The key trap with this is to glue all these bases in without putting these side bits in first, because a little bit of wiggle room is always handy. So please make sure work one embrasure at a time. Don't glue all the decks down, then do all the next bit on top of that. Okay, and the final bit to complete the model is these pieces here. Right, and there's a series of these, are all different shapes, and basically they key in to these bits on top. And so there's a little bit of trial and error in terms of which one goes where, but you can see that one fits nicely on there. This one will fit here. You can tell I've already had a little practice of these to make sure that they all worked. Oh, this one goes in here. Okay, a little bit of maneuvering around just to get that in nice and snugly. And then I have discovered, and this may or may not be the case, on this one I actually need to flip that upside down. But again, that won't make any difference. Once you've got paint on the model, it won't make any difference to it at all. And then a nice long one to go in that back section, which is here somewhere in my pile of parts. I can't see it at the moment. But in essence, you've got pieces on all of those. Then your final piece, once that's all done, I'm just going to put my card. Oops, that's the wrong one. Right, so there's my longer piece of card that matches with this wall. Right, and you see it slides under those embrasures. And this piece for this wall. And again, like with the straight walls, the design of these is they interlock and cover up all of your teeth joints. And again, we talked about these long corner covers. You basically lock them in there and then push them out to the corners. Okay, so that's pretty much the Vauban Fortress. As you can see, the kit's, it's intricate in its positioning and stuff, but it is, once the pieces are in place, it actually is really stable. So it makes sticking it together pretty good. I mean, if you find a piece that doesn't fit, then that pretty much tells you that it doesn't go in that spot. The design of the kit is a half fortress. So if you wanted a full fortress, that's fine. You need to purchase two, and that will then give you 4 corners, 8 wall sections, a couple of doors, some destroyed sections, and so on. Okay, so that's it. Hope you enjoy.